Hey, what's going on, everyone? Cardboard.Capitan here, and today, I've got this deck. It's about a week into the release of Alchemy Aetherdrift, and there are a few decks that have arisen from these new cards. There is Ornate Imitations, which has given rise to doppelgang decks. Basically, they want to ramp up for a massive ornate imitations, as well as various Nakabet, the 3-mana enchantment, to bring out multiple copies of smaller creatures in an attempt to go wide with them. So, the thing I've noticed about these decks is that they're very greedy, and by that I mean they want to tap out to maximize their plays. They want to go wide, and they have very little interaction. So I thought, what better way to counter these decks than to have a combo deck? Now, the past season, the premier combo deck was Smuggler's Surprise, which uses Calamity and Terror the Peaks to hopefully kill the opponent in one turn. But it has its flaws because it's combat based. You need to saddle up the Calamity and then swing in. But I found a better combo to use, and I'll go over it real quick. Basically, your combo is Bloodthirsty Conqueror, Starscape Cleric. You either gain life or lose deal damage with both of these in play, and then the loop starts and ends when your opponent dies. You can trigger it in different ways, whether it be combat damage, whether it be gaining life from Dredger's Insight, whether it be pinging the opponent with Festering Gulch. You don't even need to go into combat to combo off. With that said, as far as why this combo is better than Smuggler's Surprise, number one, better removal. Now, with this deck, I went with Fell rather than Bear Triumph. I don't see too many Planeswalkers, and Better Triumph, you need as much life as you can keep, because you want to survive until this combo goes off. So that's why I didn't go with Bear Triumph. I mean, you can discard a card, but usually you want to keep the cards in hand because that's your combo. For two, you have better card search. So if you look at Cash Grab, you look at Dredger's Insight, they allow you to dig 4 cards deep into your deck to search out pieces of your combo or survival tools. With Smuggler Surprise, you only really have Of the Beanstalk, and you can't run these dig tools with Smuggler Surprise because it is an instant and not a permanent. Finally, I kind of mentioned this before, you don't have to win in combat. You can win even during your opponent's upkeep. If you have stab wounds on your opponent and you have these 2 creatures out, unless they can remove them, then you win in their upkeep. I've had a victory from that happen one time. So without the way, combo pieces, Conqueror, Cleric, okay. Fountain Port Charmer is going to reduce the cost of them, hopefully, so you can pull them out earlier. Bailmerk for Dig. I don't think this is a 4 because you have a lot of cards that are going to miss from the Bailmerk, so I think 2 is a good number. Hauntwoods for Ramp. Fell for Removal. Cash Grab and Dredger's Insight for Dig. Of the Beanstalk, I used to run 4, but keep in mind that it doesn't dig as much as Insight or Cash Grab, and you need to have a card with casting cost 5 or more to trigger up the Beanstalk. So that's why it's a lower priority than Cash Grab and Dredger's Insight. As far as lands, Festering Gulch, that's important as a trigger. Fabled Passage, Restless Cottage is a backup win condition. Underground Mortuary is more dig. Key thing to note is you need a good number of double lands so that you can consistently hit Perforator Crocodile, Haunt Woods, and Conqueror and Cleric on the same turn. So early on, you want to fix your mana base as best as you can. As far as the sideboard goes, Bloodghast, I have a love and hate relationship with this. I have it in the sideboard for control matchups, but I'm not facing too many control matchups. So I think this can be better, but for now, it's something that can gain you life repeatedly from Dredger's Insight, as well as swing in constantly for damage. Both Ghost Vacuum for Graveyard Hate. Scrap Shooter, I'm finding it real good right now because not only can it remove artifacts and enchantments, it also can block flyers. So, White Overlord tokens, not a problem. Thoughtstalker Warlock, this is some technology from when I played a lot of deserts. It works real well with Found Port Charmer. Not only does it go down to 1 black mana, Found Port Charmer usually goes unblocked early game, and so you can have the targeted removal as well as a 2/2 with Menace. Unforgiving Overtake, that's a new Aetherdrift Alchemy card. I sideboarded in when I win, so it's strictly better fell. Otherwise, that 1 extra mana that you would use to cast it, that really stops it from being main boardable. So, it's also a way you can trigger your combo as well. So, enough yapping, let's go to the gameplay. Alright, so, this is a nice hand, and I want to keep it, considering that opponent's going first. I have Beanstalk, I have Fountain Port Charmer. So yeah, let's be greedy. Okay, Plains Optimistic Scavenger. No land yet. So while I struggle trying to get land, I want to give a shout out to the various Japanese Alchemy players. On Twitter, there's a hashtag MTG Alchemy _ no, take that back. MTGA _ Alchemy, where the various Japanese players are communicating their decks, their strategies, and so on. And I think it's pretty cool. I'm located in the US, and it's cool to see the influence that Magic is having, particularly this online format. So I'm gonna try to communicate with them. I don't know how good Google Translate is, but my Japanese, it's not very good. I mean, I watch anime, I listen to Japanese music sometimes, but having a conversation, not so good. So, the only information I'm really giving my opponent, okay, I'm running Perforator Crocodile. And when I do get a land, it's a tap land, so greedy, keep, and I get punished appropriately from it. Now, since the opponent's going wide, I see less of a need for fell. So I take out 2 of those and put in Scrap Shooter. Scrap Shooter, it's nice because opponent has flyers as well as has enchantments. Much better hand, more lands, but I do have a better curve. I want to keep that Festering Gulch for when I want to combo out. Early on, I want to fix my land base. I think Perforator Crocodile could make an impact this game. So I want to hit that 3 black mana. Now that Starscape Cleric, that's usually a clue as to what type of deck I'm playing. I hold off on Fountain Port Charmer because I'm not under pressure here. I want to go for the cash grab to maximize the number of creatures I have in hand. And cash grab is gonna hit another Dredger's Insight. Okay. And I'm not under pressure, so I get paid off on my patience. And now when I do Fountain Port Charmer, I get reduced cost on both Bloodthirsty Conqueror and Starscape Cleric. So at this point, I really want my opponent to tap out. Not next turn, but the turn after I cast Fountain Port Charmer. Okay, so as a general rule, you want to play like your self-mill cards before you play your Fountain Port Charmer, so you can maximize the number of creatures with reduced casting cost. Okay, I have 3 black mana. I'm set to combo when the opponent makes themselves vulnerable. Life total doesn't matter too much here because I have gained life from Dredger's Insight. So I'm not expecting to die in this turn. Now, what opponents should do is leave some mana up to potentially remove my combo. But I think by playing that creature, they leave themselves vulnerable and punt the game away. At the very least, they don't know about Festering Gulch, and so they should not attack. But they attack. I don't know if that was a misclick or what, but I just need to play Conqueror, I need to play Cleric, and I swing in with a win. And even if they blocked, I do have Festering Gulch, so I'm just gonna combo out. With this combo, it's pretty much a loop. You don't have to do any clicking, pushing buttons, board manipulation, anything like that. You just let it happen, and it's pretty cool that the opponent let me do it. So, I guess, it's fair that game 1 was just the arena shuffler being the arena shuffler. Now, on games I win, that's when I usually side out some fells and putting Unforgiving Overtake, because that Overtake, it only gets cost reduction when you're the second player to go. So it becomes a strictly better fell. Now, as far as what I need to look out for, definitely look out for Get Lost. I doubt opponents gonna be playing Porcine. Yeah, they're not going to be playing Porcine because they're not running black. I think the only thing I have to worry about is Get Lost, because that's the only instant removal speed, uh, instant speed removal for creatures that I see getting played. Rides End, I'm not gonna be tapping my Conqueror or Cleric, so that's not a concern of mine. So opponent's gonna go first. Definitely a keeper hand. Banger hand, turn 1 Mortuary, turn 2 Beanstalk, turn 3 Charmer. And what's nice is, oh, a Cleric too. Um, these Fountain Port Charmers form a nice wall against the opponent's creatures. Now, with these go wide decks, a lot of them try to go wide to where their creatures can't be answered. But they also lack a lot of evasion on their creatures, so they can be chump blocked all day. So Nact Moon comes down, and as far as I know, that's the only sort of source of evasion that the opponent's gonna have through the third part of the saga. So let me start building my defenses up. And what's nice about Offspring a Charmer with Charmers in hand, you can play a Charmer for 1 green and get 2 creatures. So Rest in Peace is definitely not the play. Um, so the only thing it's gonna stop Overlord from bringing creatures back that were already in the graveyard, because the creatures get exiled, so there are no graveyard. It also is gonna stop Dredger's Insight, the life gain. However, you're still gonna mill 4 cards and select one of those cards to put into your hand, and that's the more important part. Right now, I'm just trying to manage their board, get from going too big. That's why I removed one of them scavengers, and now I'm just waiting. I do need to make sure I have enough black mana on my board. I need to let that Overlord come down, but I also need to find Festering Gulch, unless the opponent leaves himself vulnerable one turn. So there's Perforator Crocodile. So I'm just digging for lands. I could go Fabled Passage for another forest, but I think the better play here is Underground Mortuary. Now, the thing with Fabled Passage, it's great early on, but you also need to be aware that it shuffles your deck, so as you're digging through your deck, you're also making cards less likely to be drawn. So and besides, I have enough defense. Um to block their creatures all day. So opponents aware that I could combo anytime. And I'm just chump blocking all day. Okay, cash grab is a good find. Okay, so I do have the black mana I need. Okay. Okay, opponent decides to go all in. And I'm just trying to protect my life points. No need to kill or attempt to kill any creatures. That's what I was waiting for. Get lost. Opponent also has one untapped mana. So I'm going to try to combo out this coming turn. Okay, unfortunately, no Festering Gulch. I could play it safe and go Scrap Shooter here, but I need to take this opportunity while I can. So I think the play here is to get Dredger's Insight, dig 4, and then hopefully get that Gulch I need. Just double checking I have enough mana to cast everything here. Last card, Festering Gulch. Doesn't matter what I draw. That's game. So, as you can see, multiple ways to start up the combo. Let's go to the next match. Okay, so I'm going first, and this is a most excellent hand. Even better. Early on... Oop. Early on, you want to focus on getting your mana base set up. Be prepared to cast Crocodile as early as possible. I'm not seeing much aggression from the opponent, so that's why I went with Overlord. And I'm just setting up right now. Okay, so opponent's playing a pretty cool deck. So something I've seen players try is Agatha's Soul Cauldron with Leaf Leap Guide, and by removing the Leaf Leap Guide from their graveyard, creatures that they control with +1/+1 tokens have the rescue effect of the Leaf Leap Guide. Right now I'm just building up a buffer of life from the Dreader's Insight. I do need to get another land. And while they are powering up their creatures, the Soul Cauldron, whenever they Soul Cauldron my graveyard, they're also gaining me life. So right now I'm just building up defenses. Something you do need to be aware of is the information you reveal to your opponent. Right now, okay, so they did see Enduring Tenacity. That's gone. I don't know if they think I can combo out. Originally, I was running Enduring Tenacity in earlier versions, but it just cost too much. Okay, so Ornate Imitations comes down, a whole bunch of creatures come in. But also worth noting is that the opponent's tapped out. So, with Dreader's Insight, I can use Overlord to gain life. I just need a Conqueror, so I'm gonna hold off on that. Let me drop the Baelmerk first, and hopefully draw into what I need. Let's see. Right now I'm just considering my mana. I think the play here is to play Overlord for one turn, or 1 mana to dig. Rather, 2 mana. Okay, I do get a Crocodile, so that's good. And then dig some more. Opponent's gonna pull out a Crocodile. I have no creatures in the graveyard. That's what I'm waiting for. Bloodthirsty Conqueror. So I'm more confident in my plays now. So at this point, they should be aware of what I'm trying to do. Opponent still insists on going wide, though. Okay, all I really need to do is stay alive, so just block the highest damage that the opponent's gonna do. I believe one of these creatures has evasion, so I'm gonna take 7. If they want to power up a creature, no big. Okay, bye Bloodghast. Hopefully the opponent greeds out, taps out. Nope. So it's a safer play to drop the Perforator Crocodile. Mainly, I'm trying to see if the opponent does run counter spells. And I'm gonna drop Starscape Cleric just cuz. Okay, so they take damage from multiple stab wounds. And I win next turn. When you're playing this deck, you have to consider what responses your opponent can do. Oh, they tap out. Okay. Uh, just play it safe and block what you can. The only thing I don't like about Ornate Imitations is that it takes time to read those cards. I've actually timed out from trying to read the cards produced from Ornate Imitations. I win this turn. Like, I don't think I have Bloodghast in my graveyard, but I just need to drop the Conqueror, then the Cleric, and then swing in with Overlord. I don't know, maybe I was just a little excited to go off. That's why I played 3 Clerics. But Overlord's gonna pull cards from the graveyard, and Dredger's Return. Oh, Dredger's Insight, sorry, is gonna trigger the life gain and then loop out. So the sideboard's constantly changing. I do like Scrap Shooter. And something I found in earlier versions of this deck, I'm sideboarding Bloodghast out a lot. I do like Thoughtstalker Warlock because, for one, it works real nice with Fountain Port Charmer. In both, the Fountain Port Charmer will likely do damage if your opponent's playing a control deck. And for 2, it can go down to 1 black mana, so it's like some old tech that I used to play when I was playing Deserts heavily. You ping for 1 damage, then you drop that Warlock, and then you pull out a card that's gonna mess you up the most. There goes that Leaf Leap guide. So it looks like the opponent's trying to outrace me. Fortunately, I do draw my Crocodile. And there goes my Conqueror. So, since I do have up the Beanstalk, I can draw it without showing it to my opponent. Any cards that the opponent can see have that red eye on them. Agatha Soul Cauldron. I'm not worried about graveyard hate at all. Let's see. Drop the Crocodile. I do want to see if the card on top is something I want to draw. Take it. Now, something you need to keep in mind, even if you can't combo off, you can always overwhelm the opponent with these big creatures. The only downside is most of your creatures don't have evasion, so that's when you need to go for your combo plan at all costs. Safe to swing in with a Crocodile here. The opponent's running green and blue, so I'm not worried about board wipes. So I do take out 2 creatures for my 1 Crocodile. I was trying to swing in so that I could Thought Stalker Warlock, but well, it's just a discard instead of a targeted discard. Okay. I've got 2 green overlords now. I'm going wide with big creatures. And the opponent's doesn't have like a ton of mana to Doppelking or Ornate Imitations, but they can start going wide with their Burnt Dread. Now the plus side is they can only activate the duplication ability during their turn, so that means they're leaving themselves vulnerable from being tapped out. Now, I just happen to draw a Crocodile. That's going to wipe the board. I'm going to swing in, and that's game. So, alright. So when you're doing this combo, you do gotta watch out for instant speed removal. This is an earlier version where I was trying Enduring Tenacity. And I'm going off with that new black card, black removal from Alchemy, Aetherdrift. So this is death for the opponent. Now the opponent attempts to cast This Town Ain't Big Enough on my creatures, but his Mage Bane Lizard punishes them. Now he got all these creatures from Ornate Offering, so I just thought that was pretty cool. Cool way to win. Yeah, let me yap a little bit. I think this deck's pretty strong. I like it more than Smuggler, Surprise, Calamity combo. But the thing is, right now, this isn't the optimal version. I mean, Aetherdrift Alchemy just came out about a week ago, so I'm still trying to learn the matchups, trying to find the optimizations, the best cards to play, and so on. So I do encourage you to experiment, use this video, what you've seen as a guide, learn from my mistakes, learn from my insights, and so on. Don't just copy the deck, right? I mean, copy it if you're going to try it and learn, but you know, there's plenty of room to improve. So with that said, you can find me on X under the username Cardboard.Capitan, Moxfield, Cardboard.Capitan, well, Cardboard_Capitan, where you can find this deck as well as many other decks that I play. If you enjoyed the content, like, comment, subscribe. If you don't, give me that thumbs down. I'd love the hate. I will see you all next time.